Hi everybody. It is Wednesday the 12th of July 2022. I'm recording this about 10 o'clock in the morning. So if anything happens between now and the time this video goes up for public viewing, uh, I'll cover that on Friday the 14th. Remember, everything this month in July is on the even days. 4:30 Central Standard Time are the pre-recorded videos. And just a reminder, the second and fourth Saturdays of each month at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, that's when I do a live broadcast. Just remember, I am a clairvoyant, and everything is for entertainment purposes only. Full disclaimer is down in the box, so please form your own opinions. If you have questions or would like to schedule a reading, shoot me an email. Okay? So some of this I kind of forgot to mention on Monday's video, but so here we go. And everything that I'm going to cover has happened since Monday morning. Okay? Something that I don't think it's been brought up a lot of places, but Germany is now having their military training with the Aussies. So they must be getting ready to get ready for something big that's going to come down. And because we all know that the Big Red Sea is trying to cause more and more trouble down under. Now, okay, I saw that the head of the Muslim League, which is actually Saudi Arabia, paid a visit to India. Now we're finding out that the Saudi government just dumped a serious chunk of change into the treasury of Pakistan. Basically, Saudi Arabia is bailing out Pakistan because they're nearly bankrupt. So, yeah, some stuff is going to be hitting the fan. Or actually, the Saudis are bailing out Pakistan to keep the little Pakistani snot butts from doing stupid things in any of the other countries. Otherwise, the Muslim League, Saudi Arabia, is going to leave the Pakistan out to dry. And all of those dudes that are sneaking into the U.S., they're going to be up a creek. Because they get their money, in my opinion, they're getting their cash flow from the Pakistani government. Okay. Now, other stuff that's going on, there's a lot happening with the blue and yellow country. Some of it is that they're pushing the BRICS group to put out an arrest warrant for Vlad. Now, and they have an open arrest among all their, should he leave Russia, which is a really stupid thing, okay? Because Vlad has kind of a tender agreement with the Big Red Sea. And we all know that the Big Red Sea can put out an arrest warrant and snag somebody, no matter, as long as they're within a country that the Big Red Sea has a extradition agreement with. So watch out, folks. Especially those who are trash talking Vlad. And now, we know that the Z guy keeps bugging America to provide him with these cluster boom booms. And especially now that like the NATO summit is going on in Lithuania. Yeah, Z guy keeps pushing for these cluster boom booms. At the same time, he did make a surprise appearance there, which is really disgusting because this guy's 45 years old. Z is 45 years old. Doesn't he own a suit? I mean, he gate crashed a political meeting, but all he's wearing is his stupid little quarter zip pullovers, polo shirts, and like khaki pants, like Dockers. The guy doesn't. How can anybody take him seriously if he doesn't even dress seriously? Remember, go back, watch that movie Working Girl with Melanie Griffith and Joan Cusack and Sigourney Weaver. I mean, Melanie Griffith and her character made a comment. If you want to be taken seriously, you need serious hair. You need to dress seriously. Well, obviously, the Z guy has no idea how to dress seriously. I mean, he's still bugging the United States for his cluster boom booms. But then Jojo, in his ramble, the guy, Jojo is definitely losing all his faculties. Because Jojo starts talking, sorry, but we don't have any more stuff to send over to you. I mean, our supply has been dried up. You've got it all and used it all. Which is, that's kind of like national secret, treasonous. Yeah, they're calling Donald out being they're calling Donald all sorts of nasty names. Well, Jojo is openly committing acts of treason. So we've got to get him out soon. I mean, okay, there are some boom booms left in the States, but hey, Greg Abbott, I think he had his own built because he's putting them in the Rio Grande to prevent these jihadists, these wetbacks who are loyal to the God that they have to pray to 5 times a day. So yeah, thankfully Greg Abbott is doing something. He's putting stuff in the river, hopefully in order to help protect Texas and the rest of our country. And even Piers Morgan is going all over the place, and he is stating and making noise about the cognitive decline of Jojo. Jojo has to, I mean, sooner or later the donkeys are going to have to admit that Jojo is no longer capable of doing his job. Now, I'm going to bounce to something before I continue on with the Jojo nonsense. Okay, we all know that, hey, the United States, certain towns, certain cities are being decimated and are on the path of destruction. Well, even now, the rappers are starting to say, hey, dudes, you're messing up. Your donkeys are messing up because, what, 50 cents? Or 50 cent? That's what this guy goes by? He's now calling out the donkeys that are destroying Los Angeles. 50 Cent is going off on the same nonsense that Kimmy Fox has done in Illinois, Cook County. Letting these idiots go without any bail money. So, yeah, even the rappers are now starting to call the donkeys out on their baloney. And speaking of major donkeys, the Grand Poobah donkey of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, or I should say Pugsley Putzker, is now visiting the UK. I wonder if he's staying in one of his Hyatt hotels? Or maybe they're not classy enough for his fat butt. But yeah, Pugsley is visiting the UK. He's going to go down to Goodwood, you know, the big racetrack, because he wants to do some malarkey in order to promote electric vehicles. So all my UK subscribers, if you can get down there or know somebody who's going down to the Goodwoods track, make sure they give Pugsley Putzker a really, really rotten time. The guy has basically destroyed Illinois. Make sure to cough really hard on him because, you know, they said obesity would be a major cause of crossing the Rainbow Bridge if you caught the flu virus. Well, let's put it this way. Compare pictures from before lockdown to after lockdown. Pugsley's put on at least 100 pounds. I mean, the guy's a fat whale. Okay? So, give him some grief for me, please. I'd really appreciate it. And also, it's yeah. So, to go back to my regular, kind of list of how I comment on things. Yeah, well, yeah, Pugsley is basically over there to show how powerful he is. I'm like, okay, the dude gets his money from Hyatt hotels. So we've got to boycott the Hyatt hotels. And please, people, UK citizens, when you're down at Goodwoods while this fat pig is down there, schmuck, make sure you give him grief. Now, of course, past couple of days I've listened to my favorite Swede. He is making it known that, yeah, people are getting offended because certain areas are burning books. Well, we know burning books was a big thing back in the 1930s. And now the people that are being offended by it are like, they want all these books that children should not be reading. The offended people want big apologies. Well, you know what, folks? Toughen up. It's these little weaselly butts, these transvestite guys that have the feelings that get hurt the most. Couldn't handle being a man, so now you have to be a girl? Jeez. Women are tough. Transvestites don't have the inner strength to be a real woman. But they gotta pretend like they are. Dude, transvestites are nothing but weak idiots. Now, you know, like I said before, the Z guy has traveled to Lithuania with his polo and polar fleece quarter zip collection of clothing. And there he basically is trying to get NATO to allow the blue and yellow flag country admittance to join the club. Well, it really isn't. They aren't going to. I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening. I mean, last night I watched on PBS, which is our public broadcasting service here in the United States. They have this program called Frontline. And last night they did the program on Vlad. Okay, all it did was, it was negative propaganda against Vlad. And every talking head that was from some official department They were all the lower level, they were all the assistants to the cabinet holders for O'Bean Brain. Okay, you know, Barry Sotero, who goes by the name of Barack O'Bean Brain. Yeah, they were all the assistant to the cabinet people, the people who held cabinet positions. They were the talking heads on this Frontline documentary, which did nothing but trash talk Vlad and promote how wonderful the Z guy is. Yeah, this is the lovely propaganda that's being shoved down the throats of so many willfully ignorant, complacent Americans. Yeah, it's really, really, really disgusting. And there's so much propaganda going out, and there's like these people that are invading our country, the guys that are praying to Allah 5 times a day. I mean, not only are they destroying America, but now it's the different towns, or they call them councils in England. Okay, England's Home Office, which is like their Secretary of State's office here in the States, they want to start to reopening. In the UK, the Home Office wants to reopen some closed military bases. One of the bases, that is an old RAF, Royal Air Force base, that's been closed, and they're trying to get it declared a National Landmark Heritage Site. Well, that's where they want to put all these losers, all these little Allah worshippers. That's where they want to house them, in large groups. Yeah, they're making it real easy for these armies to be centralized. So we really got to be careful of this, because the Z guy even promotes these idiots. I mean, he's, like I said, he's having fits. I mean, he gate crashed the NATO meeting, and he is saying, oh, it's so disrespectful, I didn't receive an official invite. Well, why should they invite a guy who doesn't know what he's dressed, doesn't know how to dress correctly? Every other guy is in a suit, and he's dressing as well as Harry Mountbatten Windsor, who looks like a slob. I mean, NATO is giving him a little bit. NATO is training the blue and yellow flag countries' military. But dude, you're not going to get let in. Your country is not going to get let in. So grow up. Stop being a whiny butt. I mean, I could honestly say I'm old enough to be his mother, and if he was my kid, I would have drop-kicked him into next week until he learned respect and how to dress properly. Now, something else we've got to, which I think is ironic, because India, who's part of the BRICS pact, has the Prime Minister, what's his name, Modi, is paying like a kind of, he's paying a visit. And I think it's really strange that here Macron's in Lithuania for NATO. Or maybe I should start calling him Macaroni Brain. Yeah, Macaroni Brain is at NATO, at the NATO conference summit. And in walks the Prime Minister of India, Prime Minister Modi. And he's there to help the rest of the French citizens celebrate Bastille Day. And yeah, he's bopping into France. And then as soon as the Indian Prime Minister bugs out of France, he's going straight to the United Arab Emirates, because he has to do some fast talking, because the country of India needs a lot of black gold. You know, remember the beginning of the TV show Beverly Hillbillies? Black gold, Texas tea. Yeah, yeah, that stuff that the stuff that Jojo stopped allowing to be drilled out of our nation's ground, pumped out. Yeah, I mean, India's over there. He's celebrating Bastille Day, but they're doing some shopping in India right now. You see, India needs some airplanes for their Air Force, needs some equipment for their Air Force, and equipment for the India Navy. They need those things that go underwater, you know, like, but in bigger and better construction shapes than that one that blew up when it went down too far from the pressure. Now, something that's going on that a lot of people don't realize is that, again, the Big Red Sea is not exporting gallium. So those with electric cars or planning on buying one, get ready, because the price is just going to go even further through the ceiling, because China is no longer exporting gallium, which is needed for the construction of them. And also the Big Red Sea is now starting to shut down more and more factories, especially those that are affiliated with Australian entrepreneurs. And China's sticking its nose into more and more factories, and it's ironic, folks. You got to make sure that you watch what you're buying, especially where you're buying it from. Just an FYI that I don't think people realize is that when you go to Wally World, yeah, it's got cheap prices. And that's because Wally World kind of strongly urges their suppliers, in order to come in at the price point where Wally World will purchase their product. Wally World tells these people, these companies, go set up a factory in the Big Red Sea. So how much of a kickback is the board of directors getting? How much is the Walton family getting from the Big Red Sea to force production, companies to build factories in the Big Red Sea? I mean, the Big Red Sea is paying Jojo's family a serious chunk of change. I wonder how much money the Walton family out of Arkansas is getting from the Big Red Sea. Okay? So, yeah, I mean, everybody's still... It's like the Big Red Sea isn't producing the gallium that's needed for electric vehicles. But the gallium is used in the computer chip stuff, the batteries. Now, those batteries are also used in military equipment. So I wonder if all the guys who went to dinner tonight over in Lithuania were discussing the gallium shortage. But of course, Jojo said, "I'm not going to dinner, I'm too tired." Well, dude, Jojo is supposed to be running the United States, but he's too tired and too inept even to do his job. So, yeah, donkeys, when are you going to get 25 the Idiot? You know, it's like they're already planning the white nose candy around Cammy Poo. So, okay, they're gonna get Cami Poo to resign because of the white nose candy. They're gonna put somebody else in as VP. And then they're gonna get rid of Jojo. So it's gonna be like another. Remember back in the 70s when we had the first, it was Nelson Rockefeller and Jerry Ford. They were the they were appointed president and VP. I mean, this was back with Nixon stuff. Nixon's VP, Spiro Agnew, had to resign, so they replaced him with Gerald Ford. Then all the Watergate nonsense, they forced Richard Nixon to resign. So Jerry Ford gets bumped up to being president, and he then brings in Nelson Rockefeller as his VP. So right now, what they're going to do is they're already putting nose candy as like a little cookie crumb trail behind Cami Poo to get rid of her. So they get a new VP in to work under Jojo. Then Jojo's going to be declared, sorry, he can't do the job any longer. His brain's gone. So who are they going to be putting as VP? Because I have a feeling that's going to be the next tick. That's going to be the two people going in for the November job interview in 2024. Okay? And, yeah, the Big Red Sea should, I guess, is already lining pockets to make that happen. Just like the Big Red Sea is also basically helping these people who are coming out in North Africa and other hostile pray 5 times a day countries. Right now they're occupying, they're coming up north through Venezuela, and they're coming up north through Central America. And what they're not telling people is that a lot of these idiots are camping out in Panama. So the Big Red Sea is going to start really making international shipping traffic, make it very difficult to go back and forth through the Panama Canal. So they're going to shut down, they're going to try and shut down the shipping through the canal. I mean, they pulled that stunt by the Suez Canal with that Evergreen boat. Don't be surprised if they do something to plug up one of the locks in the Panama Canal. Now, while all this stuff is going on in Lithuania with the NATO stuff and the Big Red Sea is doing their stuff, shenanigans, don't forget little North Korea. Well, the guy with the Napoleon complex, because he's being ignored lately, well, he's starting to send up skyrockets into the air. Yeah, he's doing his little plea for attention. So even the only country that's calling out North Korea for its bad behavior is Japan. And yeah, Japan is, we got to start watching what they're saying and doing, because they're the closest to the Big Red Sea. And considering what the Japanese army did between well, that stuff started in the 20s through the 30s and 40s, considering what Japan did in and around the Big Red Sea. The Big Red Sea, when they can get to it, they're really going to make Japan pay for everything that they did in the Big Red Sea way back when. It's not going to be pretty. Now, something else, a couple things. Okay, here in Chicago, yeah, we've got issues where these wetbacks come in, and of course they lie when they come across and talk to people. So now some women, especially one, who most likely claimed to be over 18 when she crossed the Rio Grande, is now saying that she's 16 and she got knocked up so she could have her anchor baby. She's saying that she got knocked up by a member of the CPD. What I'm saying now is somebody do some look at her bone structure, because you'll be able to tell her true age, and do pull some of that amniotic fluid out of her to get the DNA test done. I think she's a lying. That's their goal, is those border crossers. They are making sure that they get El Prego ASAP, or they cross the border Prego so they can drop an anchor baby. Yep, just like Illinois' 3rd Congressional District, Delia Ramirez. Her parents are illegal. Everyone in her family is an illegal alien. She's the anchor baby. And if you go on Twitter, you're going to find out half of the time she's being highly discriminatory to real Americans by putting her tweets up in not Spanish, because that's spoken in Spain, but some version of Mexican. Delia Ramirez is actually being very discriminatory to the true Americans. Yeah, not good. Now, I mentioned this a couple days ago, and yes, she is. Leslie Van Houten did a really stupid thing when she was 19. And we know how stupid 19 teenagers are. Well, after 53 years, she's now being released into custody of her family, basically to live out what the rest of her life is. Now, we see how stupid 19-year-olds are by their behavior by supporting the BLM and becoming little Antifa members walking around in black outfits. Okay? So, 53 years, yeah, she served her time. And people, let her live in peace now. I know what she was involved in is super horrible, but please, just let her have her last days. Let them be peacefully, okay? Now, what's going on with some stuff? We also, and everybody's laughing, KC3, yeah, he definitely has good manners, because Jojo made so many faux pas. I mean, he broke protocol so many times during the basically one-day visit. I mean, Jojo, he had a 40-minute meeting with Sunak, which basically is long enough for them to say hi, goodbye, and for them to change Jojo's diapers. And then he went down and saw KC3 at Windsor and everything, and they don't mention how long he actually stayed in conversation with KC3. But then they put the demented geezer back onto Air Force One and shipped him off to Lithuania. Okay? But yeah, KC3 was very much, he did a great job of ignoring Jojo's faux pas. We could tell. And a lot of people are saying they're the same age. I go, nuh-uh, KC3 is 74 going on 75. Jojo's 80 going on 81. All right, folks. Now, they're also saying that, okay, so KC3 is going to be 75 in November. They're already making out the guest lists and making plans for the big birthday bash. Some of the birthday plans and some of the word around the street is that Henry and Rachel, along with the children, are supposed to attend KC3's birthday festivities. Yes. Henry is already been told it's a command performance. It's a command attendance factor. And he is to bring Rachel and produce the children in public to be seen by KC3. What is it? It's July 12th right now. He's got August, September, October, about 3.5 months to dig up some kids to show to his daddy come November. Let's see what happens. It's not going to be pretty for Henry and Rachel. Now, other people are talking about KC3 is now going to boot Andy out of his house and out of his summer house in Balmoral. They say, yeah, well, Andy goes up there usually for the last couple of weeks in July. Well, Balmoral is still open to the public Charles wants Balmoral to remain open to the public for those 2 weeks. Yeah, Andy may be going up there because he wants to see what's going on and to oversee what happens when the public is around, because like I said, Andy is basically the business manager of the properties. So of course he's going to go up there. He's not going to get booted out. He's going to go up there to see what's going on if Sarah's able to travel. So people chill. You might want one of the more reliable sites is check out Royal Grift. She's got some good info going out right now. Video that came out within the past 16 hours. It's like 10 something right now. So go back 16 hours. She has a video that went out. But another thing is there's another computer generated site. The initials of that site are F and H. It's very, very, very pro the Dastardly Duo, if you listen very carefully, because one of their latest videos they put out is basically kind of giving the illusion that Catherine's a copycat for QE2. She has no imagination, so she has to copy what Angela Kelly... Yet this computer-generated website is now making noise that Catherine doesn't have imagination, that Catherine is being a copycat of wearing what Angela Kelly put on QE2. No, Catherine knows how to dress. She has her own style. Back before she was a royal, she actually worked in the fashion industry. Okay? Catherine knows what she's doing when it comes to wearing clothes. And she knows what a tailor is used for. Unfortunately, somebody else doesn't. Just like if you poke around the pictures that were supposedly taken on July 4th of the gruesome twosome, well, the stuff that's being shown through American sites and resources, everything's really blurry. But the same photos that are blurred here in the States, you go outside the United States and everything's clear as glass. There's stuff hitting the fan that just is not right, especially with those two. And basically, yeah. they're going to be scrambling. Whoever has access to the casting breakdowns, especially those that are international, that are in the UK, start looking for sites, start looking on the casting breakouts to see who is looking for children that fit the announced description of the daughter and the son, and they would be booked for a special event that will require travel. So they're going to go to show the kids to Charles in public. They're going to use Rent-A-Kidz for the public viewing. Will be Rent-A-Kidz. Now, some commentators are saying that there are children. If there are, I'm going to say that maybe the children were both born with Down syndrome. That's why they are not seen out in public, because those kids are not perfect. Or it has been seen that if someone is of mixed race, people have been born splotchy. It looks like their body they've suffered, alopecia, that removes the melanin from the skin color. It turns your skin pitch white, like what was going on with Michael Jackson. So maybe these kids were born with blotchy skin, like parts of it were whiter than the driven snow, and other patches are darker than Doria. So the kids kind of look like a giraffe. So that's why they don't want the kids seen out in public. There was some genetic screw up in the DNA when the kids were still in the parasite form. So that's what I've got for now. I want to thank everyone for watching today. Yeah, Friday the 14th, which is Bastille Day, I will have another video up for you at 4:30. So everyone have a great Wednesday evening, and have a fun day on Thursday, and a video will be up on Friday the 14th. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a great one.